What is going on, everybody? We are here with a review on Guild Wars 2 and getting attacked by a Jaguar while it happens. This video is going to be focused on reviewing the recent playthrough slash stream of the Guild Wars scenario. We are just going to be rating it in different sorts, from graphics to questing to based on the new player experience, and we're just going to jump directly to it. So I will see you there. What is going on, everybody? So I've done a stream on the Guild Wars 2, that is, and I'm going to turn the volume down. Give me a second. So I'm going to do my review now of what I think of the game, for especially a new player's perspective. So we'll just get straight into it. So, starting with the questing, I must say the questing for a new player, especially someone who's come from WoW, which is a little bit more railroaded, the overall questing seems a little bit on the confusing side for me, because I don't seem to, unless I'm doing something wrong, by all means tell me in the comments that I should be following certain quests, and I will definitely redo the review. However, it does seem like it's a little bit, you can wander wherever you want currently, and not really too much guidance in a way. Now that's not a bad thing, because it makes it the true scene of the MMO, so it is a good thing. But for a new player, especially from my opinion, it does seem a little bit confusing to play. Just going around. I have not had a chance to check out the PvP. I will be doing, I think I'm going to do an entirely different video on the PvP once I've got higher level and more skills or gear and such. Because I'm going to be playing this for on my own time, just to get like a little bit more detail into how to play the game before I jump into the PvP side. Now, I do like the aspects of like the dodge and such, and I see how this could be cool, because you can dodge abilities, I'm guessing. But that being said, we were talking purely about the aspect of the leveling scenario. The graphics in this game are beautiful, like definitely really nice graphics. It looks like they've actually had an overhaul since when I was doing some research on the game before I started. The leveling experience, I do like the looting system, and I will be reviewing like everything out of a 10 scale, so 1 to 10 scale. The questing, I really like the voice acting. Like, the voice acting in this game is so good. There is a few quests that don't actually have the voice acting, but honestly, from my very first beginner experience, the voice acting's been really fun to play. For the combat, now, I am pretty biased in this opinion. I really like the combat aspect because of the fact I can move while I shoot, cast spells. Like, that is so amazing for someone who is a ranged player. I've always been, I've not always been a ranged player, but I've been a ranged player for quite a long time. Ever since the World of Warcraft's rogue got turned into terrible in Shadowlands and other expansions. But being able to move while I cast on every spell, honestly, it's heaven. It's heaven for me. The looting system, now the looting system, again, is really cool. I do like the aspect of getting random loot drops and being rewarded while you level up. And I am in an extra high level here, and well, not extra high, but this is a higher level area than I need to. The fluidity of the game, so the speed at which you level up and gain experience and overall can play through the game, it feels really good, really smooth to play. Again, the only major criticism I've got is I'm not entirely sure on the questing aspects. So moving around, just randomly finding objectives, feels a little bit odd to me, but that's not a downfall. It's just can be a little bit confusing for a new player, especially like myself. The combat, again, like I think I've just mentioned this, combat is really fun. I've not actually got into many boss fights, but over the hour or so that I've played and a little bit off camera, has been quite a nice time. Oh, there's actually gathering. Well, of course, it's an MMO, but we've not actually got too far in the game. But this is just a beginner review. I'll do a review once I put quite a few more hours into it, just to check whether or not my review changes. For performance issues, I haven't met any performance issues yet, so there's nothing to say about bugs or other things. Paywalls, again, after looking at some reviews myself, as well as also playing the game, I haven't noticed any pay boundaries other than expansions. Now, after also doing the research on it, I know that expansions aren't a necessity for the game, unlike certain games where you will actually need to buy the expansion in order to progress your character. Now, we can actually play the game quite smoothly without any of the need for buying the expansion and play all the way through without any defects. Apart from if you, for example, wanted to play the newer classes, some of the newer classes are needed. But that being said, we are going to go straight into the review now. So I'm going to rate from out of 10. Hopefully I don't die before this happens. No, I didn't die. Beautiful. Right, so we're just going to go straight into the review now. So, for Graphical Appeal. Graphical Appeal, I would say it is a solid 9.5 out of 10. No, I'm going to go with a 10 out of 10. It's a really beautiful game. It's definitely a beautiful game. Especially the mount that we saw at the very start of the game. Now that was beautiful. We've got a new ability here, but honestly, the textures, this is on the highest renders it can be. So it may be different for other people who are playing this, but honestly, I really like the style of this game. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for graphics. Maybe not 10 out of 10. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 because in comparison to things like ESO, which I've not yet tried yet, but the Elder Scrolls, for example, I know that has got some seriously strong graphics. So I can't really give it a 10 out of 10, but I will definitely give it a 9 out of 10. For combat, the combat definitely is highly rated in my opinion. There's a lot of cool things. You've got loads of different... If you change your abilities or change your weapon, for example, I don't think we can change our weapon here. Maybe we can. Let's change our weapon here. You get different abilities. Now, that didn't really change the abilities there, but different abilities for different weapons. You eventually get a weapon switch after doing some research, but again, this is a new player, so this is only like 1 to 10. I'm only level 6 at the moment, so when the other review comes out later on, I will be making another review for a casual player, I'll call it the review. But enough about that. The questing. Now, questing, I can't give it the highest score because it does get a little bit confusing of where I go, what I do. There's so many things that I don't really understand yet, and if I don't understand it, then I'm guessing a lot of other newer players won't be able to understand it as much or that much in like the grand scheme of things. There's no direct railroad, so I feel like you can get lost in this game and not... But that's not, again, too much of a bad thing. It's just being used to World of Warcraft and other similar MMOs where you've got a quest and you start progressing through. I know that it does have certain level provinces. What is that noise? That level provinces. So like we've got 1 to 15 here. And then other zones that we've not yet explored. It's definitely... I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for just because I kind of find it a little bit more confusing than the typical MMO style. Although I do feel like this is really how MMOs should be. So maybe an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for my beginner's opinion, because I do feel like there is quite easily getting lost in this game. And I think that will about make it for this review. The overall map size is huge, so there's a lot to explore for the later review. I do like the looting, so the looting that you get and like consistent free gear that you get rather than having to do loads of quests and be missing out. Although it is RNG, so I'm not I normally get messed over by RNG. Not that that's a bad thing for most people, but honestly, RNG hates me, as it says in my description. But yeah, it feels fluid to level. It's a really beautiful game to play. It's definitely something that I'll be investing some time in off camera, just so I can get into the PvP and maybe possibly do some PvP, but while being the major source of this channel until we can get out of the niche, as I have done the research on finding that niching down is the best option. That's why we've only got MMO Mondays. Although, if I do get this character to maximum, not too sure what this does. But if we do once we do get higher up in the levels off camera, then I will definitely be adding we'll possibly be adding some Guild Wars Wednesdays in the PvP scenario to check how it is. And then we'll be able to check out some more MMOs in the future. But overall, out of 10 for the entire game for a new player or a beginner's experience, I would definitely give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's a really, really beautiful game. The voice acting's awesome. The questing, like I said, is a little bit confusing for people who have come from MMOs more catered towards the World of Warcraft style. But combat feels fluid. Looting feels fluid. I've got full inventory now. But yeah, overall, I would say that this game is definitely worth a try. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Yeah, I'm different. Nah, I don't fit their system. So let the match class that's a fact. Never backtrack. ADD's my life hack. Addicted to spitting rap. Angels on my back. 111, telling me to carry on.